In the early 90s, one of the biggest and best cartoons I had ever seen in my entire life, and I grew up watching every single day whenever I got home from school, was Batman the Animated Series. Now, keep in mind that I'm a full grown adult now. I still watch that show. I love it just as much as I did whenever I was younger, probably even more now because there's like a lot of things that I see that they associated with the comics and just have a much bigger appreciation for. But the thing is, that show came out so many years ago, and I mean, they've made Batman cartoons since then, but nothing of that caliber, in my humble opinion. Batman Beyond was really good, was not as good as Batman the Animated Series. The Batman, again, was pretty good, not nearly as good as the animated series. Batman the Brave and the Bold is it's good, but you have to be into the 60s style like Batman show that they had with Adam West and everything to appreciate that. So that's kind of like its own thing. But in general, the only thing that's even come close to Batman the Animated Series is some of Warner's and DC's recent direct-to-DVD movies that they've made, kind of like Under the Red Hood, for instance, which is one of the best like animated movies I've ever seen. And they a long time ago they had Mask of the Phantasm. They had Batman Sub Zero, which were really good movies. I mean, I've loved all those movies a whole lot, and I think about them. I'm like, man, those things are so badass. But anyway, the thing that I want to get to is that Batman the Animated Series came out a really long time ago. Now, over the course of time, a lot of fans of that show are just like me. They're full-grown adults, many of which even have kids now that actually like Batman and other similar comic book heroes. But the thing is, I kind of think that what they need to do, since a lot of the Batman comics are kind of like dark and gritty and whatnot, what I'm starting to think is that they should actually remake, not really remake, but make a new animated series, something with the same quality taken into the show, just like the animated series did. It had really good action sequences, had really great voice talent and whatnot, and it had great art on top of that. But the thing is, I would like to see it with a little more edgy. Actually show blood, show the violence and everything, and actually touch on topics that are something that you wouldn't have on a Saturday morning cartoon show. Well, that's when I started thinking, well, what could you put that onto? And I was thinking Adult Swim would actually be a really good home for something like that, because there's tons of people I know, and actually tons of people that watch my channel who are big comic book fans that do watch Adult Swim. And I was thinking, why not have a more mature Batman the Animated Series on there? I mean, Adult Swim, number one, has tons of viewers. I mean, hundreds of thousands every single week. Put a show like that on there. I mean, they already have Young Justice on Cartoon Network, so it would be kind of neat to be like have advertisements that it's going to be on Adult Swim during something like that, and kind of play off of each other. Young Justice will kind of be like it essentially is Teen Titans, but now you have Batman on top of that. I mean, you're already invested into DC Comics whenever you go on to Cartoon Network, so why not just keep it going? Now, with something like this, a lot of people they got more into Batman after The Dark Knight, especially when you have somebody like Heath Ledger playing the Joker who did a phenomenal job. Uh, and on top of that, the comics are in full swing. I mean, a lot of them are raking in tons of money, and they're selling like hotcakes essentially. They even brought back Batman Beyond because they did a quick little 6-issue mini shot with Hush and everything, and that did really well. So it's kind of just like a testament to Batman in general that T-shirts are selling like hotcakes. The all the movies are selling really well. The comics are doing really well. Action figures, everything. The whole 9 yards. So why not get like another show going? They have Batman the Brave and the Bold going right now, but the thing is, I would like to see something like Batman the Animated Series because I loved it so much. A lot of stories, and hell, if it wasn't for that show, we wouldn't have something as awesome as Harley Quinn because, as many fans know, Harley Quinn was actually created on there thanks to people like Paul Dini and Bruce Timm who brought the character to life. Um, Another character who really didn't have much to him until Batman Animated Series happened to be Mr. Freeze, who actually got his own movie, which I just mentioned earlier was Batman Sub-Zero. But the thing is, I would love to see like that same team go and adapt all their talent to something like this, because many of those people that worked on Batman the Animated Series, they still work on comics nowadays, which I pick up a lot of them. One of them happens to be Batman Streets of Gotham, which if you get the chance, you should really pick it up. I know that they've compiled some of the issues into paperbacks and hardcovers recently. That's a really great series. It's going to be drawing to an end pretty soon, but if you get the chance, pick that up, and you'll get to see, like, just imagine, Batman Streets of Gotham, but in an animated form. It would be mind-blowing. Like, it would be so awesome. I would love to see something like that. So that's why I'm making this video right here, just to convey, some of my thoughts and some of my ideas to all of you guys. And many of you may be watching this, and you're actually fans of Batman. You may have even seen, Batman the Animated Series. So you'll know what I'm talking about when I say how awesome it was, and just imagine like darker and grittier, and just go all out. And I would love to see that, go up to like season 6 and just keep it going, because that would get me to like really into, oh, I got to be there at this time and watch the show because I love it so much, and go out and buy it on Blu-ray with extras and whatnot. It would be really cool. So that's what I have to say. What do you, as the fans, actually think of this idea? Do you think that it could be something that would work really well? Do you think it's a good idea in general? What other ideas would you want to throw into it as a fan? Like, what would you like to see? Or do you think everything's just fine as it is and it's kind of unnecessary? Whatever the case may be, myself and many other people out there would like to know. So comment down below, make a video response if you want to talk about it in your own words. Either way, fans of Batman, DC Comics, and comic books in general, we want more Batman. We want an animated form. So, sound off.